All stories must have a beginning, and ours opens on the campus of Boston U, where our two young friends...
Well, here we are, Eddie, after 4 happy years at college. And I sure hate to say goodbye.
So do I. But say, here we are, only 41 miles from my hometown, Leominster. And you haven't even seen the place.
Say, that's right. The way you rave about it, it must be some town.
I'll say. Why don't you come up and see me sometime?
Well, you don't look like Mae West to me, but I'll come up and see you anyhow. Goodbye, Eddie.
Bye now.
And sometime later, our hero does arrive in Leominster.
Hello, Eddie.
Hi, Denarch. I'm glad to see you.
So this is Leominster. Some town.
Yep. You're gonna stay at my house, aren't you?
Well, no. I only plan to stay a few days. Have you got a good hotel?
You bet. One of the best. The Columbia.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go.
And he decides to stay at the Columbia Hotel, where the genial Mr. Baker and the friendly staff...
I want you to meet the Secretary of the Chamber of Commerce, Bob Appleton.
How do you do, Mr.
Norman? Sit down, boys.
Oh, Mr. Appleton, just what does the Chamber of Commerce do for the city of Leominster?
Well, the Chamber of Commerce acts as the publicity department of the city of Leominster. We let people in other communities know what we have in products. The Chamber of Commerce operates the Merchants Bureau. We try to promote confidence of the people to shop locally and help the merchants pay taxes. Probably the outstanding achievement recently was the formation of the Leominster Civic Trust, a group of business and professional men who raised a fund to save the Wellington Piano Case Factory from being torn down. We hope to have a new industry in there, increase employment, and increase the payroll locally. I'm mighty glad to meet you, Norman. Eddie, show Norman around town.
You bet.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Appleton.
And here are the civic trustees and a few directors of our Chamber of Commerce. Good citizens all, who at the call of civic duty rallied around to save the Wellington Piano Case Company plant for the people of Leominster. You too will have an opportunity to do your bit to help bring new industry to our city. Our council, a splendid body of men serving their city unselfishly. They deserve our support. Leominster can be proud of its water and public works department. We have the sweetest, purest water to drink in the state. And in this building, the harmful CO2 is removed, assuring Leominster Purity Plus. At our sewage treatment plant, our sewage is collected in a system of sewers which discharge to the treatment plant at Mechanic Street and the north branch of the Nashaway River. Highway work is brought to mechanical perfection with this modern ditch digger and loader shown in action. Sidewalk paving, a busy scene showing some of the efficient work of our public works department. These men really do a fine job. And on Saturday afternoon, we see all our modern road equipment and trucks line up for inspection and action. Of course, he met a girl.
Norm, I want you to meet Miss Ava Thomas.
How do you do?
Well, I should have come to Leominster sooner.
And this is Simon Fife and Doris Blanchard.
How do you do? Well, I like that. I said, how do you do? That's a fine way to treat me.
Looks like love at first sight. Come on now.
Oh, just a moment. May I call?
Yes.
Come on now. Come on.
Well, goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
He's nice, isn't he?
Yes, but not to me.
Oh, I thought he was all right. What about you, Doris?
Oh, I thought he was very nice.
What's the matter, Simone? Didn't you like him?
No, I think he was rude.
Now go on. Well, we'll see you later, Doris.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Third Leominster Airport, we meet our flying aces, preparatory to a sky ride over Leominster. And into the air we go for an unusual view of our city. Familiar scenes unfold beneath us as we see the beautiful churches and public buildings and wine, and the great Doyle works of the DuPont plant, whose friendly cooperation, by the way, has made these aerial scenes possible. But let us sit back and enjoy the view. Now at the great E.I. DuPont Doyle Works, we see the employees as they leave for lunch. In 1902, the Honorable Bernard W. Doyle and a group of associates formed the Viscaloid Company. Today, the Doyle Works, or plastics division of the DuPont Company, is the outstanding industry of our city. And Leominster's outstanding citizen, Mr. Doyle, friend and philanthropist, deserves the love and respect of our citizens for the many good things he has done for Leominster. In the recreation room, the girls relax at noontime with a friendly game of cards or ping pong and to read. A few employees of the New England Novelty Company, where those good citizens, the Lyon brothers, keep the wheels of industry turning in Leominster, employing hundreds of Leominster people, stout fellows. The place wherein we see beauty women and handsome men, the Foster Grant Company, manufacturers of combs and novelties. In this plant, the fine feeling of employee management is something to talk about. Look at those happy, smiling faces. Director Shepard and the talented cast of the Foster Grant show, Here Comes Charlie, hold a story conference on the stage of the Rialto Theater. The show was amateur in name only, a real professional job, and we thank Director Shepard. And the first time he called,
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Oh, he's here again. I'm going.
Me too.
Go on now.
Hello. No.
Well, how about it?
Oh, no. Say, I think we'd better go back to the party with the others. Come on.
Oh, I'd rather stay here.
Oh, no, you don't. Come on.
Oh, all right.
Norman hasn't got any technique. This is the way I treat my woman.
Oh, well, this is the way I treat my men.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, you poor boy. Well, I wouldn't treat you like that.
Oh, maybe I'm right.
naturally he bought his car and Oldsmobile from Avery B. Cousins. The Main Street Garage started in 1934. Here we find the tops in automobile sales and service, a beautiful car. On November 22nd, 1933, Monty, realizing that Leominster needed a good place to dine and wine, opened Monty's Garden at 35 Central Street. Today, Monty is famous for the excellence of his food, and in just a few days, it will be his 6th anniversary. At the bar, where choice wines, liquors, and Harvard beer is featured, always busy, showing that people appreciate quality. Here's an appetizing scene, the huge refrigerator just crammed full with delicious foods and fruits. Hungry? Wait, you ain't seen nothing yet. In the spotless kitchen, we see why people come from miles around to enjoy the spaghetti, ravioli, chicken, steak, and seafood prepared by an Italian-born chef who is an artist. In the cozy booths, our friends enjoy the tasty food. And Monty's is a safe place to bring your wives and children and enjoy a happy, appetizing evening. Employees of the Wachusett Shirt Company, makers of the famous Whitney brand, founded in 1882. This plant has been in continuous operation since that year, now employing about 350 people. The capital and management and employees are all Leominster people. That's worth bragging about. Rubens Men's and Boys Clothing and Furnishings was established in 1923. Today they are recognized as the headquarters for men's, boys, and children's clothing at economy prices. They have grown on the solid rock of customer confidence. J.P. Parrots, 61 Main Street, established in 1921. He is now the oldest shoe retailer in our city, featuring Foot Delight, Borsheim, Bostonians, and others for men and women. They also specialize in Edwards shoes for children. can well be proud of our Leominster Hospital. Opened in 1933, this splendid institution is today, though a small hospital, one of the finest and best equipped in the state. It is recognized as Class A by the American College of Surgeons and the AMA. This fine building is the nurses' homes, and the comfort and beauty of their surroundings adds to the efficiency of this group of happy probationers, shown with our efficient Superintendent, Shanna N. McFadden. This school of nursing is registered in both Massachusetts and New York. Here you see a modern shock-proof tube unit X-ray apparatus. Few hospitals in the country can boast of such fine equipment. The General Electric Research Department has called it the X-ray equipment of tomorrow, but Leominster has it today. For the few people who suffer from hypothyroidism and heart irregularities, we have the basal metabolism test and the electrocardiograph. The most modern equipment available is found here for the protection of health of the people of Leominster.
Well, Eddie, I've been in Leominster almost a month now, and I certainly enjoy being here. I've met a lot of fine people. Take, for instance, your mayor, the Honorable Sidney E. Bell. He certainly is taking an active interest in the doings of the city. Then remember 2 weeks ago I met Mr. Buckley, president of the Chamber of Commerce, and he seems to be a wide-awake fellow. And oh yes, the chief of police, George H. Smith. He's a wide-awake fellow. He's certainly on the job. Ask Ava Thomas.
The economical Gilbarco oil burner bears the famous C&W guarantee. Our own American Legion Post 151 of Leominster, lest we forget, taps in memory of our boys who never came back. 20 years have come and gone since the World War. Alpino, the white and gold degree team of the St. Jean Society, well known throughout New England states as the winners of many championship cups, were desirous of getting new uniforms. At a meeting of their Ways and Means Committee, it was decided to conduct a few Beano parties, that game having just been legalized. The main auditorium at the City Hall was engaged, and the first party was held in April 1935 with 147 persons in attendance. The next four parties showed a slight weekly increase in the attendance, but financially, the first four parties were not a success. Then, the attendance kept increasing every week, and soon the degree team had enough money to buy the desired uniforms and were ready and willing to call it quits. But the Welfare Committee of Council Berger number 280, which is the men's lodge of the St. Jean Society, saw the opportunity to obtain the necessary funds to increase its welfare work and took charge of the future parties. The parties have now been conducted for 3 years and 7 months. With this modest beginning, it has grown to such proportions that now 6 halls are occupied every week, and many nights hundreds of persons were not able to be admitted because of lack of space. Of the more than 4,000 persons attending these parties, over 70% come from the neighboring cities, towns, and states. The main reason for these large parties has been the fair and honest treatment accorded to the patrons. The winners have always been given the lion's share of the receipts. The committee on behalf of the lodge receiving only about 7% of the net proceeds, and out of that amount, 70% has been given to charity outside of the lodge, and the latter receives only the balance for its own welfare work among its members in need. Nearly $16,000 have been paid to the city of Leominster, and of that amount, $9,298 went to the welfare department to help needy of the city. Contrary to the general belief, the people do not spend all their money at the vino parties, as the records show that an average of only 85 to 90 cents per person is spent for the whole evening's entertainment. No outside promoter has ever been connected with the parties. The St. Jean Committee is the only one in charge, and we repeat again that not 1 cent has ever been paid to any outsider. In the Dickinson Dry Goods Store, established 1874, they feature yard goods, costume jewelry, dresses, gloves, and domestic goods and infants' wear. Ava tries no men hose. Pretty, what?
What are you crying about, Ava?
Well, Eddie said that Norm was going away, and, well, I just don't want him to go.
Don't cry. Norman will stay if you really want him to.
Do you think he will?
Of course he will.
Do you really think he cares for me?
You know he cares for you.
Well, I hope so.
Here's the giant mixer of the Roma Bakery, established in 1929 in action. They specialize in Italian sliced grade A bread and serve Leominster, Fitchburg, Gardner, Clinton, Lancaster, Sterling, and West Boylston. From the oven comes crusty, delicious Italian bread. And Mr. Casacca, the proprietor, also features all kinds of pastry and wedding and birthday cakes. One of the most efficient police departments in the state, an asset to Leominster. Our fire department, under Chief Ernest P. Johnson, consists of 64 men and 8 pieces of apparatus equipped with the latest types of life-saving equipment. Here's a happy crowd in the ivory room at the camp, listening to the swing melody of the yacht club band, a hot sax, a peppy drummer, and a sweet piano player. Here's the little entertainers of Lorraine's Dancing School who were photographed at the Moose Hall. Sweet kiddies all. Mr. McCann had them photographed here because of the license law. And see those folks dance. A rendezvous for friends to meet and dance and have fun. Music, maestro, please. The F.A. Whitney Carriage Company plant, established 1858, has been the pioneer in the manufacture of baby and doll carriages. Methods of carrying children has differed but little in various countries. In Egypt, carried in shawls on the mother's back or hip. In Ethiopia, a basket strapped to the mother. And the Indians carry their papooses on their backs. Today, carriages from the F.A. Whitney Carriage Company go to every state in the Union and to Canada. A great product, made by a great firm, made in Leominster, pushed everywhere.
Hello, Norman.
What are you doing?
Come in. Oh, I'm reading about that new hairdo that we women have now. Don't you like it?
No. There's something I'd like to tell you.
What is it, Norman?
Well, I've been in Leominster almost 2 months now, and I've grown to, I just can't leave Leominster.
You don't have to go, Norman.
You mean?
Yes.
The Vogue shop was opened 9 years ago by Herbert Murphy of this city, and the present store, 17 Main Street, ranks among the finest in New England. The Vogue is represented by New York's largest buying office, who also buy for over 300 other specialty shops. Miss Thomas selects a lovely fur-trimmed coat and evening gown. In the salon of the Vogue shop, where individual attention is so necessary for correct style and fitting. Here at the Vogue shop, you will find the largest and most diversified line of popular price lingerie in the city of Leominster. Dainty lingerie tailored by Barbizon is a very necessary part of any bride's trousseau. Vogue's answer to your Christmas gift problems are the large selection of negligees and pajamas that have style appeal. The exquisite loveliness of Kaiser hosiery is best exemplified in mirror clear chiffon. Vogue's popular priced hosiery comes direct from New England's largest hosiery mills. Your dress problem is simplified by the wide selection of newer styles, dresses mostly one of a kind. Samples in the better range. Here you will find chic and smartness combined. Vogue leads the fur fashion parade, being the exclusive agents for National Furries Incorporated of New York. These coats are fully guaranteed and certified 1939 styles. At the hat bar, you will find the famous Parisian mode hats that are different, and also accessories to...